Welcome to your journey of healing with the Healing Podcast, hosted by licensed clinician Monique Owe and co-host Dr. Amber Moan.
Thank you for tuning in to the Healing Podcast. I am your host, Monique Owe. Dr. Moan, my lovely co-host, is not here today. Today's topic is, are you living for them or you? So, what does that mean? Simply what it says. Are you living your life for other people or are you living it for you? Now, I'm not talking about when you're just a selfish person where you only always think about yourself, because you can't always think about yourself only, because that would mean you're selfish. But you do need to have moments when you are selfish, moments of selfishness, because you can't always live your life for others. You can't always want to do things to make everyone else happy while you go ahead and suffer just for the sake of making them happy, to just cause them not to allegedly be upset. Guess what? Sometimes some people are going to be upset with you, and you have to be okay with that. Because here's the thing, if you're living your life for everybody else, I promise you, you're neglecting yourself in such a way where it's going to start to affect your health, it's going to start to affect your personality, it's going to start to affect your peace. But let's look into why people really live their life for others. It's usually the opinion they're going to have. It's usually the opinion people have of you. You want them to have a certain opinion of you, so you rather do everything to please them versus you. Now, there's another flip side to that. There are other people who also live their life for others people's opinions just to show a certain popularity or a certain lifestyle. So you post everything about what you have and what you have, so many things, just so people can praise you, so that people will like you sometime. They'll feel like, oh, because you have this stature in life and this status, that they want to be around you. So you like that because you're neglecting something within self, so that you put on this display like you have everything together when sometimes you don't, right? That's sometimes with material things, which that's not helping you either, because how much does it take? How much energy are you putting into showing people that you have things that maybe you don't necessarily have? I'm not talking about letting people in your personal business. No, everybody doesn't need to know that. But if you're always trying to show what you do have just so people think of you a certain way, that's got to be stressful, because you got to maintain that thing. You got to keep maintaining that. That's a lot of energy, right? But how about the people in your life? Maybe you're always trying to please others. You're always trying to make sure they're okay, but you're never looking at yourself. You even have things going on within your life, but you're still thinking about others and how you can help others and do things for others, but you're not taking time for you, when sometimes you just need to take a step back. How about when you're sacrificing everything for your job? Everything's about that job. Everything's about your job. And I get it. You need your paycheck. That is fair. Of course you do. We need money to survive, right? But are you giving too much to that job? Are you stressing yourself? Are you going in anytime they need you? Are you not taking your vacation? Are you not sometimes just taking a personal wellness day, which of course is a sick day, if they still call it that? Many times, many companies call it PTO. You're just not taking a random day of PTO. You're just always there worrying about the company. And that's fair. But I promise you, if you keep doing that in a certain way, it's going to affect your health. Your body needs a recharge. Your mind needs a recharge. It needs a reset. So sometimes you just can't show up for people. Everything can't be about them and how they're going to feel about you, what they're going to think about you. Not everything. Sometimes you have to think about yourself, because I promise you, you're probably suffering from some type of blood pressure issues. If it's not blood pressure issues, it might be an autoimmune disease eventually. Lupus, that's one of them, because you're so stressed with trying to maintain everything. And next thing you know, your body has started to attack itself. Now, I'm not saying that, see, if you have that condition, I'm not saying that's the only reason you received it, but I'm saying some of the autoimmune diseases that affect us, or even, like I said, high blood pressure, stress, a lot of those things are because we've added too much onto ourselves versus trying to give a balance and not live for everyone else. That's what I'm saying. Or what about depression? Maybe you're even depressed. Maybe you're even anxious because you're trying to do everything for everyone else and not take a moment for yourself. You can't keep living life that way. Everything can't be about making people happy. Another reason people try to live for others versus themselves is they like to say they're non-confrontational, right? But the thing is, non-confrontation is not always a good thing. I think people always hear the word confrontation, they think it's always about a fight. It's not about a fight all the time. We're not talking about people who are aggressive and always fighting and arguing. We're not talking about that. Being able to confront issues It's a part of life. Yes, that does mean people are not going to always be happy with you. It happens. Oh, well, it happens. If you can't show up, let's say someone asks you for a favor and you just can't do it because you just have a lot going on, it's just a no. You don't have to overly explain why you can't do it. Oh, because I got this going on, I got this. It's just a no. And if those people genuinely care about you or know you, they'll know, listen, that means you really couldn't do it. If somebody gets upset with you because you said no one time or maybe a couple times, that's not a person you need in your life anyway. I'm even ask you this. Is that person even somebody that shows up for you? Do you always show up for them, but do they ever show up for you? Think about it. Do they ever check on you? Do they ever text you to say, hey, I just wanted to check on you, see if you were okay? I just wanted to make sure, see if you needed anything. Did you need me to take you to lunch? Did you need me to cook you dinner? Or, hey, you know what? Hey, I went to the store. I saw your favorite hand soap. I just figured I'd pick it up for you. Do they ever do anything like that for you? Do they randomly give you a gift? Do they look out for you on birthdays? And a birthday, when it comes around, are you always the one giving them something? They never give you anything? Think about it. Is that what's going on? That's what you have to look at. When are you always giving? People always taking, but you never take back for yourself. And here you are stressed out. Yes, you're worried. You're always worried about them, but you're not worried about you. That can't be healthy. It can't be. It's not good to carry that burden. You overthink things. You wonder, how should I say this? And what if I say this? And what if that person gets mad? But what if this person gets upset? And what if this person gets mad? You can't live life like that way. Guess what? Somebody's going to be upset. It just is what it is. It's going to happen because, it's like I said, there's no way to please everybody. If you end up pleasing everybody, I promise you're neglecting yourself. That's just a given. Do any research you can. If you're doing everything for everybody else, you are somewhere in your life neglecting yourself. Whether that's physical health or mental health, you're somewhere neglecting something for you. So you're denying yourself for the fear of what? People being mad at you, being upset with you, or not trying to say anything negative to them. You're afraid that they're going to get mad at you. Let them get mad. They'll get over it. If they're bothering you, let them know. Okay? Try not to live life for everybody else. Try to live life for yourself so that you can have some peace. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick segue here. We're going to go into, you guessed it, the situation. So let's go ahead and see what our situation says for today. Dear Healing Podcast, I have been working at my job for a few years. I recently got passed over for a promotion. It is a little upsetting. I feel that I have more experience than the person that was selected and more qualified. I don't know the person that was selected personally, so I don't really know their background. But based on what I do know about my qualifications and my experience with the company, I feel the promotion should have gone to me. Although I have accepted that I did not get picked, I find myself now considering leaving the company and exploring other options. I just don't want to make a decision based solely off of emotion. Can I have your opinion on whether you think I am reacting emotionally, or is it perhaps time to move on? So before I give my response, I want to apologize if there's any extra background noise. Because, life happens and outside they're taking care of the landscaping. So sorry about that, everyone, if you are hearing that type of background noise. So let's talk about it. Thank you for writing into the Healing Podcast and for sharing your situation. I appreciate you for being honest and wanting some tips and some help with this. So guess what? We all can get upset when we get passed over for a promotion. We know it's upsetting because we do feel that sometimes we are the ones that should receive a promotion. We've been working hard. We've been doing our due diligence. We've been showing up on time. We've been the one that's been doing things that we need to for the company. We have been making it known that we want to move up, and then it's hurtful when someone else you feel is less qualified than you gets the promotion over you. So to answer your question, is it wrong to explore opportunities? No, I don't think it's ever wrong to explore opportunities. But I do think before you jump, you should weigh your options. Meaning, like, what does your company give you that maybe another company may not? I would compare those things, because sometimes we get so upset that we jump and we realize we had a good thing over here and now we may miss out. Like, for example, maybe your company has the perfect schedule for your life right now, and that new company might not have that schedule that's going to fit your lifestyle right now. Or maybe the pay at your company right now might be pretty good. So going to the new company, the brackets of pay or how they're going to do things are not going to be as great as the one you are now. They may pay you more right now, but the way they move up and give pay raises is not the same. You have to just look at that. So what I would say is, no, it's never wrong to explore. Sometimes we do get stagnant and we stay stuck in positions that we don't need to. I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So I believe that promotion at that company, at your company, at this time may not have been meant for you, but that does not mean you should not be promoted. That's what you want. So I will say, yes, explore. But before you make your decision, make sure you compare both. Compare your benefits, compare what you are going to gain, if you're going to lose anything. If that other company seems to have a good opportunity, go ahead and take the leap. It's nothing wrong with exploring. I don't think that you are wrong to explore. I just think before you make the decision, make sure you weigh out both. So I thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast and for sharing your situation. If you are out there and would like to share your situation, please email support@thehealingpodcast.com, or you can go to the healingpodcast.com website and hit the contact tab and share your situation by filling out those little tabs there. And a quick mention to our sponsor. Let's give a moment for Healing Expressions, our sponsor, to discuss services. Are you someone who has been considering therapy? Perhaps someone else has told you that you need to talk to a therapist. Or maybe you're in a relationship and you want to discuss some challenges that you've been facing with your significant other. Maybe there's a communication issue, perhaps an incident of infidelity. Or maybe you just want to strengthen your relationship because you guys are thinking about taking another step. Maybe you're struggling with anxiety or depression, perhaps grief, life stressors, and you just want to share your thoughts with someone. Well, consider contacting Healing Expressions. Healing Expressions is a private practice located in the Atlanta, Georgia area. You will be given a session at an affordable price with a licensed therapist. If this resonates with you, consider going to healingexpressionsllc.com, reading about the practice, and hitting the contact tab to see if you can book a session. All right, thank you so much. And back to the Healing Podcast. All right, so going back into the episode of, are you living for them or are you living for you? Well, that's simple. Are you living for them or are you living for you? Ask yourself that question. Are you making decisions in your life just to make everyone else happy? Or are you doing things that are just for you only? Are you being selfish, or do you have a good balance? Do you sometimes, yes, you try to say yes and be helpful to people. Yes, you are that type of person. That's great. You show up, you're reliable, you're helpful. Yes, that's fair. That's good. It's good to be a person like that. Just don't do it too much or all the time. Okay? You might be able to do that. Just realize it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, you know what, not right now. It's okay to be honest. Don't be afraid to be honest. Just be you. And that is really the gist of this. Because if you don't, trust me, eventually it's going to take a toll on you. Okay? And the sad thing is, you will do all these things for a person sometimes, or people, but some of those people end up leaving you. Once they got what they felt like they needed and that relationship is done with, do they look out for you? Because there's some selfish people out there, they just like to take. They don't really consider you. They don't consider what you're going through, all that you had to do to maybe help them or be there for them. They're just thinking about themselves. So you have to take an inventory. So what I'm going to say to make that determination is just look at the people around you, or look at the people asking you for things. Are those people who show up for you, who pour into you as well? Or are these always people who are always taking everything from you, always taking, need something from you? Okay, look at that. Is this someone you're always rescuing, always got to come to the rescue of, always got to look out for them? Is it that? I'm not, somebody gets into a bad spot. We're not talking about that, because we do all have seasons where we might need to take and we need a lot of help. I'm talking about if that's always that person, if they're always needing to take, they need to help, and they're never even grateful. The sad thing is, some of those people that you help, then if you look back, they're not grateful. It's always, okay. It might be a quick. I'm not saying they might say thank you, but they never show it. They never come back and show how they are appreciative. They never just do anything randomly for you, or just look and say, hey, I remember what you did for me. Let me just thank you, and I appreciate you helping me. No acknowledgement, right? So just what I'm going to say, to make the decision, take an inventory, ask yourself, think about the people who are pulling on you in your life right now, or those who are in your life, and just look at the balance. Do you make decisions based on them, or do you make decisions based on you? And make a choice to choose you just a little bit more. So that is it for today, for today's episode about, are you living for them or are you living for you? And I do thank you for your support. And again, remember our sponsor, Healing Expressions, if you need some therapeutic services in the Atlanta area. And I hope that you can continue to thrive and to flourish. And let me leave you with this. This time, stand up for what you want, but do it diplomatically. That is by Linda Field. I thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.